Do you think the 49ers veterans are treating Brock Purdy like a pledge? Here's what I mean. Jose wasn't in a fraternity. I was in a fraternity. I was in Sigma Nu. I was in Sigma Nu at UCLA.
Sigma Nu, boy!
Sigma Nu. So when you want to be in a fraternity, you got to pledge. And you're not one of the guys for like a full quarter. And you got to go there and clean up and show respect and all that stuff. And all the you know, the older people got to essentially decide when you're ready to be a brother.
Dude.
And I know it's ridiculous, right? But
yeah, that's a little bit.
It's super ridiculous. But a football team is a little bit like a fraternity. And I feel like this particular football team has a lot of frat tendencies. And if you think about it, like Jimmy Garoppolo, even though he's not there, is still the president of this fraternity. And George Kittle's like the social chair. And I would say that Kyle Juszczyk is like the dude who's in charge of philanthropy. So those are the three guys in charge. And I feel like they big dog people, especially rookies. They treat rookies like pledges. And I don't know. The way I see it is yesterday you had Brock Purdy passing out Christmas cards, little like a pledge. And today we asked George Kittle about it, and he was like, oh, yeah, he did that in front of the media on purpose just to get a little, you know, we're going to fine it. He needs to be fined for that. It's like, that's how you talk about pledges, man. And look, I get it. Like, you want to create a culture of, you know, you got to earn your spots on this team, got to earn your stripes. Great. Dude, if you're going to win the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be with this kid here. Is it really productive to treat him like the pledge? I don't know, man. What do you think? How do you interpret the dynamics of this team with the kid stepping into the huddle and trying to take command?
As funny as that is, I think I see where George is coming from. Actually, now that you told it to me a second time right now, I think his idea, his logic, Kittle's and whoever else you check of producing that is pretty much just to keep him hungry in a sense, and just keep him working for it. Like, hey kid, great, you're playing great for your first few games. We're clinched the playoffs, clinched divisions. Don't let that go to your head. You still got to prove stuff, and you know, pretty much
because we all did. We all went through Hell Week and hazing and like you have to do it too. Don't.
And he's pretty much starting. He pretty much almost started the famous Jim Harbaugh to Ryan Day quote. He's pretty much started on second base for that first game. Pretty much, you know, he has all this talent around him, a good team. The team's vying for a playoff berth, literally right there. So I think, yeah, there's pretty much just like, hey, you know, we got to talk. You still got to work for it, dude. We need this. This is our Super Bowl bound team. You know, we lost Jimmy. You're the replacement. Let's do this. So I think I totally see where George is on. I'm on George's side for that.
But the way I see it is like for them to win the Super Bowl this year and be the first team ever to win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback, Brock can't act like a rookie and the team can't treat him like one. Everyone has to sort of pretend like he's a bro. He's been, you know, initiated. They have to treat him like he's been initiated. Because if they, you know, treat him like he's not one of the guys, I don't think you can win a Super Bowl that way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is too, like, psychological. But to me, what Kittle's doing is right most of the time. But in these circumstances, you got to let Brock be the leader of this team. And when he tells you to shut up on national television, on NFL Network, you got to take it, George, because you're not the quarterback. You're the tight end.
I think he's doing that, Purdy, being that loud, rah-rah leadership figure in the huddle on actual game day. And then through the week, that's when it's like, hey, man, we still got to be a little humble. We still got to work for it. Look, I still get it. I don't mind that. I don't think if you let him into your circle and just like, hey, we're just rah-rah, buddy, like it's all good. I think he could still do that. And being a supportive teammate both times, no matter which side he takes. But at least this one, by like almost like, you know, sunning him, little brothering him, I would say, is at least just, again, just keeping him with the eye on the prize. It's like, hey, man, you're still climbing towards something. You're still working towards something because everything's a work ethic. You don't want him to get anywhere near content at all and make him feel like he's there just because, you know, he beat the Bucs and Tom Brady. He helped the Niners lead them to NFC West title game on a short week. So there's a lot of praise coming towards him. And I think it's almost like trying to keep him leveled because there's so much going on. I mean, look, I've already said he's better than Jimmy in terms of elevating the offense. He's already putting Trey Lance on notice and like all this, first time rookie core, all this, everything's accolades coming his way in praise. So I think that's a way to, hey, this is a safety mechanism here on Brock Purdy that let's try to pull him down to earth just in case. Not saying he is, but just in case he could be feeding into that. Think a little bit like that. I like it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and it seems to be working in the sense that Purdy is thriving, and maybe he's doing it in spite of George Kittle. You know, maybe from his perspective, you know, Kittle hasn't fully embraced me. He's treating me like a pledge. I'm the starting quarterback of this team. Fine. I can thrive under these circumstances. I mean, it seems like what's been so impressive with Purdy is that he's been able to find this balance of being a aggressive, forceful leader, but not taking it too far, and respecting the older people on the team. Like, you can't be a wallflower, but you can't be a steamroller. And it seems like he's found this line, and George is pushing back against him, and maybe that's the right thing. But at the same time, like, I don't know, man. It just feels like, for example, going back to that thing with the T-shirt, it just feels like George keeps trying to make the point of like, man, the 3 top dogs in this team are still me, Jimmy, and Kyle, and nothing's going to change that. And it's like, I don't know that that's necessarily like a necessary thing to say at this point. Like, Brock is the president of the fraternity right now, for all intents and purposes. He is. Sorry. If you're going to go anywhere this year, he's the president. And it doesn't mean he's going to be the president next year. But you can't, I don't know. I feel like you got to reinforce him a little bit. And when he goes around and gives Christmas cards, maybe George should just be like, you know what? I thought it was sweet. I thought it was charming. I don't know.
I'm wondering if what his idea wasn't stemmed or influenced. Not saying he necessarily said it, but from Kyle Shanahan. Because remember, Kyle Shanahan challenged Nick Bosa one week, and then he challenged George Kittle going into Seattle week.
Right.
So maybe that's the same. It's not identical, but there is like some similarity to it to a degree.
Remember when George Kittle said that Brock Purdy told someone to shut up in the huddle in practice? Remember when he said that?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who that was. Was it George?
Maybe George messing around. He's like, come on, Purdy, boy, or whatever you're saying. Come on, Purdy, my man. I don't know.
Because all I know is that he told him to shut up again on national television. He talks too much.
Maybe he did. Maybe George saw your tweet and he gave him a nice little light punch to Purdy. He's like, come on, Purdy's a word, man. Let's go. Something like that. And Brock just looked at him like, what the hell are you doing, you cornball? Shut up. Come on, let's go.
Anyway, Brock kind of reminds me of like the president of the pledging class. You know what I mean? Like, he knows not to overstep his bounds. He knows he can't just hang out with the big dogs and the seniors in their rooms like he's one of the guys, but at the same time, he walks that line very well, which you need from your pledge president. Otherwise, someone's got to do it. Anyway.
It's working. Whatever it is,
it's working.
Keep on it.
It's working. Matthew says McGlinch's sergeant at arms sitting doing nothing. Yeah.